A CBS 2 investigation. Three men who never knew each other as kids are suddenly connected by the same claim that the youth hockey coach they loved and trusted betrayed them, groomed them for sexual abuse. Tonight, they tell their stories for the first time on camera to CBS 2 investigator Dave Savini.
I remember being so scared, and I wanted out. Your feet were like tied to the bed.
The leather belt on the ankles and stuff like that got tighter and tighter.
And he takes me up and he blindfolds me.
Do you remember the blindfold?
Yeah.
Was it
Pillowcase.
over your head?
Over your head.
On the ice, they had it all. In the 80s and 90s, they were some of the most talented hockey players in Illinois. Mike Sachs, a Mount Carmel High School standout, was even offered a full ride to one of the elite hockey programs in the country at the University of Minnesota.
Gopher hockey is pride on ice.
This was all you wanted and all that you worked for.
And then one day it was all just gone.
Sachs, Chris Jensen, and Kelly G played on different teams and didn't know each other, but they say they all shared the same secret. Off the ice, their hockey coach, Tom Chico Adradas, groomed them to sexually abuse them.
You believe that he targeted you?
Yeah, I do. Absolutely.
Adradas, seen here, last coached at Robert Morris University.
Here with Coach Adradas in his fabulous office.
He resigned in 2018 after abuse allegations came out, stemming mainly from boys he coached decades earlier at youth programs throughout Illinois.
When you hear his name, Tom Chico Adradas,
Yeah.
what do you feel?
Sad, angry.
They say he followed the same playbook with each of them.
That house over your shoulder is the house where your abuse happened.
Yes, that room right there.
Inviting players to his house in Lisle to talk about their future, eventually showing them pornography, prostitutes, and strippers.
From there, he takes you downtown Chicago and drive you around and show you all the hookers and talk about sex. And he starts desensitizing you to all of this stuff.
You're a minor at this point.
I'm a minor. I'm 16 years old.
Then came the story of a mystery woman he called Sheila.
His MO was he had this woman and her name was Sheila.
Yes, he named her Sheila. That was the name he used.
So did he introduce you to the concept of Sheila?
Yeah, he did.
But the coach had rules. They were not allowed to touch Sheila or see her face.
Hey, she really likes to please men, but only under these conditions.
Each teen blindfolded in pitch black rooms. But over time, the Sheila story didn't add up.
I felt like it was a man disguising their voice as a woman's.
They believe Sheila was Coach Adradas.
How many times would you say this happened?
Oh, too many.
G says a dozen times, Sachs even more. Both think the coach eventually started recruiting others to play the role of Sheila.
You think he might have been bringing other people in?
I think yes, yeah. You could tell if somebody's hand is different or something. I believe, yes, we were definitely being prostituted out.
Which brings us back to the University of Minnesota. Adradas got a job coaching hockey there, too, in '84 and '85, until his players there reported him to the university for running the same Sheila ruse.
That was the beginning of the cover-up.
News stories back then say Adradas resigned for personal reasons, no mention of sex abuse.
Did the University of Minnesota bury this?
Yeah, absolutely, they buried it. They buried it.
And Adradas went back to Illinois to coach teens.
I knew of Chico. I knew Chico to a degree, but I didn't know enough about him.
Ira Greenberg was a businessman whose kids loved the sport. He founded the Chicago Young Americans hockey team in 1988. Adradas came highly recommended as a coach.
I and other people called University of Minnesota, and we couldn't get any information.
Greenberg says he tried to check his references.
But you tried to get information
from
the University of Minnesota.
He hired Adradas but quickly fired him after learning a player was sleeping at his house in Lisle.
After you fired him, you reported him to AHI?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I also reported to A-House, which is USA Hockey.
But Greenberg says his reports to AHI, the Amateur Hockey Association of Illinois, and USA Hockey went nowhere.
Ira, you didn't want him around kids anymore.
No, not our kids, no kids.
But Adradas kept coaching kids, and 21 years later, Chris Jensen came forward.
I wish I'd have done something sooner. I wish I'd have found my courage sooner.
Jensen was the first player to break his silence. He sent a letter to AHI in 2010 about sex abuse he says he endured at Adradas' house years earlier as a teen. A source with access to AHI's investigation tells CBS 2 investigators the organization's lawyer warned what would happen if Jensen's allegations ever got out.
Were you aware that emails went back and forth about how if the media got a hold of this, it would be a feeding frenzy?
No, I was not aware of that.
CBS 2 investigators learned from the same source that AHI hired an expert in dealing with sex abuse cases in the Catholic Church. And Jensen says AHI told him a member of the FBI was put on his case. Finally, the coach was going to face a real investigation, or so Jensen thought.
It wasn't an FBI investigation. It was really him doing it on behalf of AHI as a parent of an athlete who happened to work for the FBI. That's what was shared with me.
Sources reveal AHI was instructed by its lawyers to contact all places Adradas coached, especially in Illinois. But Greenberg says to this day, he has never been contacted by AHI.
They really did nothing. And they know all this stuff here.
Amazing coach, absolute weirdo. You know, people know he's a creep, but he's a great coach.
And Tom Chico Adradas, what do you want for him?
Nothing. I'm going to let God sort that out.
When Adradas left Minnesota, Sachs says the scandal also cost him his scholarship.
You don't care if you live or die when you're living with this stuff. You try to make it through the day.
The men have created a charity called Survivors for Change. Adradas refused an on-camera interview but said he never had non-consensual sex. USA Hockey says they reported him to the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, which in June banned him from coaching. AHI says they called prosecutors, but too much time had passed, and the University of Minnesota admits they failed to investigate sex abuse claims. Dave Savini, CBS 2 Investigators.
For more on this investigation, there are full statements on our website, cbschicago.com. While there, check out the 2 Investigators tab.